Sleepy Time Studios across the World Wide Web. It's time to place your bets as we play Dealer's Choice. And now please welcome our Master of Ceremonies, your host, Jose Casares. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. What is going on? Welcome into a brand new series that I'm bringing here to Sleepy Time Studios. This is Dealer's Choice. This is basically a game show inspired by I'd say a slightly obscure game show of the same name. Basically, this game involves dice, cards, bingo balls, and a whole lot of luck, as our players will be placing some bets here along the way. So, before we go over our game, let's go ahead and meet our three players for our premiere episode. First up, our man over to the left, from the state of Minnesota, we have Mr. Nels Nezra.
Hello.
Glad to have you here, Nels, on Dealer's Choice. What does the audience know about you?
From Minnesota, cashier Target, I love to bowl.
And remind us, sorry, Mike's a little far away. Remind us what your highest score is.
A 258.
Have any plans on beating that anytime soon?
No. Maybe, I don't know.
All right, well, I was glad to have you here. Good luck to you. Next up, our man in the middle. I think I may be wrong on this. This maybe is actually his first time playing any version of Dealer's Choice that we have done here. He can go ahead and confirm it to me once I introduce him. Comes from the great state of Kansas. We have Mr. Scott Seffy McVeigh.
Yes, you are correct there, Jose. This is my first time trying any version of Dealer's Choice.
Yes, reason I say version is because I'm not the first host of this game. If you recall, you more likely have been on the MVG channel and have seen this series hosted by another great host of this game, Mr. Shedder Weatherspoon Jr. I did take inspiration from him to start this series of my own. But anyway, Seffy, what should the audience know about you?
Let's see, 53 years old. I'm also a cashier, but at a Home Depot. 2 grandchildren. And I like collecting the Transformer toys.
Okay. What do you think is your best pickup as of recently?
Well, I am actually still pretty pleased with the Legacy Minosaur set, getting all 5 pieces of it, especially considering one particular figure actually had to import from Asia because they don't have it in America anymore, though.
Okay. Very nice. All right. Well, Seffy, good luck to you here as well. All right, and last but not least, we have our man over to the right side. He's been really apparently looking forward to the premiere of this game, because when signups were he let us know that he wanted to sign up for this game a few days before we even announced that the signups were open. But anyways, we have Mr. Doug Travager with us. Hey, you cut out that bit there, but Doug, glad to have you here.
Thank you, sir.
What should the audience know about you?
So I'm a small business owner here in Mount Juliet, Tennessee, just east of Nashville. A hockey player, and this is actually my first time playing Dealer's Choice as well.
Ah, just like with you. All right, well, Doug, I know you've really been looking forward to doing this particular game, so hope you have fun. Good luck to you here. And we're going to go ahead and get our game started. So players, as you can see on your podiums, each of you are going to be starting out with 100 chips. Now these chips are important for keeping score, because throughout the episode, you each are going to play a series of 4 mini-games. Now these games are of course based on either cards, bingo balls, dice, whole lot of luck involved. So, with all that being said, each of the 4 games that were picked for tonight's episode have all been randomized, along with the order. At the beginning of every minigame, you will place your bets, and as I'll explain the rules, we'll look at payouts and we'll go from there. At the end of the 4th round, whoever has the most chips becomes our champion and will go on to take on the bonus dice for the chance to win a cash jackpot. I'll explain more details about that when we get to it, but for now, there's 12 possible minigames that could come up here in the rotation. The way this is going to work is we're going to play 4 games one episode. We're going to play 4 new games in the next episode, and then the last 4 that weren't used will be played for the 3rd episode. It's just going to rotate. With all that being said, players, here is our first game of the episode. We start things off with combination. Alright, players, so here's how this one works. Alright, so looking at combination. So the way I'm going to deal this is I'm going to deal 2 card hands, a maximum of 4 deals. And this is basically the Baccarat. Oh god, I'm not looking forward to this one. So, basically I'm going to deal 2 card hands, up to a maximum of 4 times. We will add the cards, and if neither one of the hands totals 7, you guys win. And the bet will double. You will each have the option to either cash out or let it ride after every single hand. Of course, be warned, if you let it ride and the hand does total 7, you lose your bet. Now, in this first round, you can bet up to a maximum of 10 of your chips. So we'll each go down the line. Nels, how much of your 100 chips do you want to risk up to 10?
10.
Let's go on the max bet for round number 1. He's wagering 10. Seffi, what about you?
I'll also bet 10.
Betting 10 as well. And Doug?
Just a second. I had to go to the bar to get a drink for the game.
Oh my
I'm
god.
gonna go ahead and bet. I'm gonna bet 4 chips.
Only 4 chips, alright?
Chicken.
Alright, taking out the jokers on the card deck here.
Now, Nels, I'm just not. I've never played Baccarat or Baccarat or
Alright.
Oh,
So, we're going to transition. I'm going to bring out the webcam for this one. And give me just a few seconds. Alright, so the webcam is now brought out. So, we've got a deck of playing cards as seen here. And it's all been shuffled. There's all the playing card decks right there, as you can see. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and deal out our first 2 cards. Using Baccarat math, adding the cards and using only the 1s digit. We have a queen and an ace for the first hand. Gosh, I gotta figure out what the hell is this Baccarat math. It's the one casino game I've never played is Baccarat math.
So this would be, because it would be a 10 that cancel out, so you're starting with a 1.
Okay, so this is a 1, so everybody gets double the bet back.
Okay.
Like so. Alright, now any of y'all can cash out with your winnings, or you can let it ride for the second hand. Nels, what do you want to do? Cash out or let it ride?
Let it ride, baby.
Gonna continue on. Seffi, what about you?
I'll let it ride too.
Letting it ride. Doug, you have 8. Do you want to take the 8 or let it ride?
I'll let it ride.
Everybody continuing on. Alright, let's get rid of these 2 cards. Take a look at the next 2 cards. A 6 and a 4. So that means it
That's a
totals
10.
a 10. So double winnings again. Alright, so Nels and Seffi each have 40. Doug has 16. Only 2 more hands to go. Nels, you want to take your?
Let it ride, baby. Let it ride.
He's gonna let it ride. Seffi, what about you? Same options.
I will keep going and let it ride.
Doug?
Let's keep both hands on the wheel and let it ride.
All right, everybody continuing on. All right, our third hand. We have a 4 and we have a 7.
That's 11. That still counts as a 1.
It counts as a 1. All right, so double bet again. All right, so that's the third hand. Only one more hand to go in, in this round of combination. Nels, you have 80 chips. Do you want to cash out that 80 or do you want to let it ride for the final hand?
I'm on cash out.
Nels is cashing out. All right, we deposit the 80 chips into his score, so he now has 170 chips. Seffi, what about you?
I have a good feeling. I'm going to let it ride.
He's going to be risky and go all the way.
No.
Doug, are you going to do the same?
I'll let it ride.
So only Nels is playing it safe and cashing out. All right. Now remember, as long as if this hand totals 7, then both players lose. Otherwise,
I fucked
it's
up.
a max win. Here we go. Our final 2 cards are a 10 and a 2, which means it adds up to 12. We base it on the single digit of 2. Seffi and Doug get the max payout.
Nice.
So Seffi gets 160 chips and goes up to 250 chips. And as for Doug, he gets 64, putting him at 160. All right, and that brings us to the end of combination. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the scores here. We have Doug in third place at 160, Nels in second at 170, and Seffi has the early lead at 250 chips. We're going to take our first commercial break, but when we come back, we will have our second game of 4 here on this premiere episode of Dealer's Choice. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Dealer's Choice. At a very eventful first game here, with Seffi picking up the max bet on, or the max win, maximum payout on combination. Nels getting the second biggest payout, and Doug playing a little safe, but still gets a good payout for himself. So, as the scores stand, we have Seffi in the lead at 250 chips, Nels in second at 170, and Doug at 160. All right, moving on to our second game players. Our next game up for the order is the Dealer's Derby. All right, players, so here's how the Dealer's Derby works. This game is going to involve some dice. So, here's how this is going to work. First, you're going to give me your bets. In this second game, you can bet up to 25 chips. The max limit here, the max bet limit is 25 chips. So, Nels, of your 170, you can bet up to 25. How much do you want to bet for this game?
15.
All right, he's going to bet 15 chips. Seffi, what about you?
I'm going to do 20 chips.
20 chips for Seffi. And Doug, again, up to 25.
Let me do 15.
15 as well.
Freaking copycat.
Mhm. Hey, you got 10 more chips than I do.
All right, so.
That doesn't matter.
Jeez.
All right, players. So, for this one, you've already placed your bets. So now it's time I bring out the dice table for this one, because this is going to involve a die roll.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and bring out the camera one more time. All right, players, we've got the dice table over here. It's a hexagonal dice table with a single die. So, here's how this is going to work. Now the three of you are each going to pick a horse to bet on, along with the bets. So the blue horse will pay out even bets. So if the blue horse wins the race, you will get your bet back. If you bet on the yellow horse, you are playing for triple payout or 3-to-1 payout ratio. So that means that if the yellow horse wins in this one, you will get 3 times your bet back. And lastly, you can bet on the red horse, and you'd be playing for quintuple payout, where you will win 5 times your bet if the red horse makes it to the finish line. And the way the horses advance is through die rolls. A roll of 1, 2, or 3 will advance the blue horse by 1 space. A 4 or a 5 will advance the yellow horse 1 space. And a 6, and only a 6, will advance the red horse 1 space. We're going to keep on rolling until 1 horse crosses the finish line, and whichever one does will be paid out as selected. So, Nels, of the 3 horses, which would you like to choose?
3-to-1, please.
All right, Nels is going for...
Yellow.
Oh, whoops. Ah, shit. Hang on.
Hell.
45,
What did you do, Jose?
I accidentally paid it out. Mother of fuck.
So let me. So take out. So just take that away. So you could take away this 45 out. Yeah.
And
And
we have
then
155 with more.
Okay, there we go.
I'll do
We're
one more.
good. No, that was only for Nels. All right.
No, it's actually for everybody.
Yeah, it's actually right.
you
It
got
was
it.
only Nels. I did it by accident. All right. Sorry about that.
That's good.
All right, Nels is going with yellow. Seffi
I'll just keep the blue horse.
taking blue. And Doug, what about you?
I'll go with the red horse.
Everyone going their own route. Seffi going blue, Nels going yellow, and Doug going red. This ought to be
by
interesting.
the way, for those who wonder, you could actually place your markers there too.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's a section right over here to the right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there we go. Now we know who's betting on who. This is the premiere episode, so I'm still learning all this stuff here for these games, so you will have to bear with me. All right, but in any case, let the Dealer's Derby begin. All right, first roll of the die that comes up. It is a 2. Blue advances.
Oh, come on. No.
Blue's out of the barracks. Next roll. Another 2. Blue advances again.
No.
Our next roll. I don't believe it. Another 2. Blue advances again.
Damn. The teddy birds are calling.
Our next roll. 4 2s in a row.
Are you kidding me?
Next roll up. A 3. Blue wins.
Yay!
Wow.
So Seffi will get his bet back, and the 20 chips that he bet on as well, because it's a 1-to-1 payout. So he gets his bet back and 20 more chips to go with it. Unfortunately for Nels and Doug, House wins their bets. Well, that was a pretty anticlimactic Dealer's Derby right there.
Like, shut up, Conrad.
Don't get mad at the host, Jesus Christ. In any case, let's go ahead and go back to the board. So at the end of our second game, we have Nels at 155, Semi with a big lead here at 270, and Doug in third at 145. All right, so that wraps up our second game of Dealer's Derby. When we come back after this commercial break, we'll have our third game of 4 here on the premiere Dealer's Choice. So be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody, to Dealer's Choice. Our second game, Dealer's Derby, went by in a pretty anticlimactic fashion as only the Blue Horse managed to advance and only Seppi won his payout. So he extends his lead up to
Rigged.
270. Nels is now down to 155, but still in second place. And Doug is at third place with 145. That said, players, we now move on to our third game of 4 here on this first episode. Got ourselves another card game with high-low. Alright, so players, here is how this one works. So first and foremost, you will place your bets for this game. This is our third game, so your max bet here is 50 chips. With that being said, Nels, how much of your 155 do you want to bet up to 50?
50, baby.
Go on the max bet with 50. Alright, Seffi, what about you?
30 chips.
30 chips for Seffi, alright. And Doug, what about you?
I want to do 10 chips.
Chicken.
10 chips, alright. So so our bets are placed. So now, players, here's how this game works. It's going to be a card game, so I'm going to go ahead and bring out the deck of cards once again. Alright, there's the deck once again, folks. It's been reshuffled since we did a card game previously of combination. So here's how this one works. I'm going to deal one card from this hand at a time, up to 4 cards. As long as the card is not a 7, 8, or 9, the bet will double. And of course, at any point, our players can choose to cash out after every single card is drawn. Their bet size is at risk on the next card. With that being said, the 3 of you gentlemen, I wish you the best of luck. Here is our first card. We have an 8. Well, shit.
Are you kidding me?
House
Change that color.
wins. Unbelievable. And yeah, you can see it. You can see it right there on the footage, folks. Here's the 8. It's bright as day, an 8 of hearts.
Dang snowman.
Wow, we are off to a terrible start here on our premiere episode. So that game's already over.
That's how the cards play.
Let's see. Well, now I want to see what were the next cards after that. A 7 was after that,
Ew.
and then a jack, and finally a 5.
Oof.
Criminy.
Crooked
That is
dealer.
sad.
Well, unfortunately, that brings us to the end of our third game. And because that went by so fast, we're going to go ahead and move on right to our fourth and final game. Now, the table is still out here because we are going to be bringing out our final prop for this final game. We are going to be playing some bingo to wrap it up.
Oh.
Now, players, this is the fourth and final round, so things are going to work a little differently in this final round. So, first off, the bet size. There is no limit to how much you can bet. You can bet any or all of your chips. However, you will not tell me how much you bet. In this case, it's a secret bet. You will DM to me how much you want to bet for this final game. So go ahead and the 3 of you DM me your bets as I bring out our final prop. We bring out the bingo machine. So as you can see, we've got ourselves a bingo cage over here. It's got the 16 bingo numbered balls from 1 to 16, which we're going to be using for this final game. And basically, we're gonna do like the motion like this to we're gonna do like this to shuffle the balls around, and then we'll do it this direction to draw a ball out and roll it down this tube over here. Once the ball comes out, I will reveal it and show it to you to the camera to make sure that we are being legitimate. All right, everybody's bets are in.
Yep.
Now, here is the way the game works. Each of you are going to pick a bingo combination that you will bet on. So, if you choose horizontal or vertical bingo, the easiest way to get a bingo, you will get a 2-to-1 payout. If you get a diagonal, which is slightly harder, you will get a 4-to-1 payout. However, if you really want to be risky and go for the biggest payout this game has to offer, you can go for a 4 corners bingo, and that would pay off 8-to-1.
And Jose, just to remind you, there's could be some occasion there could be a tie. So
Yeah,
if
there
there's
is.
a horizontal or vertical actually come up, those two people will get their respective totals. So
Yeah,
anything
in the
can
case
happen.
of ties, we will duplicate payouts as necessary. All right, so with this being said, Nels, which of these 3 bingo combinations do you want to choose?
4-to-1.
He's going for the diagonal. Sephi, what about you?
I'll go the 2-to-1.
Playing it safe with the horizontal vertical. Doug, what about you? You are allowed to pick the same one as another player.
Ooh, this is tough. Let me think here.
I'll make up your mind.
I'll do the 2-to-1.
All right, so Sephi and Doug playing it safe with the horizontal vertical. Nels is going to go for the 4-to-1 diagonal payout. Let's go ahead and take a look. So, we're going to shuffle up the balls here in the bingo machine, like so. All right, we draw our first ball out. And we start things off with 13. All right, so that ball now goes out of play. Let's go to the next one. We shuffle them all up as seen here. And our next one up, we have 5.
I don't like this. I
Halfway
don't
there
like this.
to a vertical line. Let's shuffle them up once again. All right. The next ball is out, and it is going to be a 9.
Oh, come on, 1.
Oh my.
It's going to come down to this. If number 1 comes up, Sephi and Doug will win 2-to-1 payouts. Next up, the balls are shuffling around once again, making this as fair as possible. And our next one to come out is a 1. There it is right there, folks. Read them and weep. You see it right there?
Wow.
You see it right there, folks? Although it's slightly out of focus.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yep, it
It
says
was, yeah.
1 right there.
Hate this game.
So, the order of the balls that came up, 13, 9, 5, and 1. So, that means that Sephi and Doug are getting some payouts. Now, let's go ahead and reveal the bets. Find out who becomes our first champion of the season.
hate this game.
Now, since you're in third place, we're going to start with you.
I hate this game.
You came
with a
into this game
passion.
with 105 chips. Unfortunately, you bet it all.
Yeah, I did.
So unfortunately, you finish up with 0.
Ooh.
No shit, Sherlock.
Doug, we come to you next. You chose to bet 65 chips, putting you at 265. Seffi, it's going to come down to this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's find out if you bet big enough for the win. You bet half, which means with 480 chips, Seffi, you are the first champion here on Dealer's Choice.
All right. Great game, guys.
Yeah, great game.
You're welcome. Thanks, guys.
Congratulations, Seffi, 480 chips. You are going to be moving on to face our bonus dice here in just a moment. Nels, we're going to start with you. This is a game all about luck, so there's not really much you can do to control it.
Crooked deal, that's all I gotta say. I'm just kidding.
Now, wait a minute. Don't put this on me.
I
Anyway.
just said crooked dealer, that's all I said.
Well, either way, Nels, thank you for trying.
Yeah.
We do have some party gifts backstage for you, but don't hesitate to come on back here and try again. We're going to have a lot of episodes this season.
Oh, I'll be back.
All right, that is Nels Nestor, everyone. And Doug, you didn't do too badly yourself. 265 chips. We will go ahead and convert that into dollars for you. So you are walking out of here with $265.
Thank you, sir.
Hope you had fun as well.
Oh, yeah. I knew I should have maybe bet a little bit more aggressively, but, you know, I'm so happy with the result that I got that I walk away with a little bit of money in the kitty.
All right, well, like I told Nels, there's still going to be plenty of episodes for you to come on back here and try it again.
Certainly. Thank you for having me.
All right, so that is Doug Trotter, everybody, and Seffi, same thing that I told Doug, I'm telling you. That 480 chips that you got, we're going to turn that into dollars, so you've got $480 so far.
Oh.
But we're going to give you a few moments to prepare yourself, but when we come back from this commercial break, you're going to be taking on our bonus dice for a chance at our progressive cash jackpot. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back after this here on the premiere of Dealer's Choice. Welcome back to the premiere of Dealer's Choice. We're here with our first champion of the season, Mr. Scott Seffi McVeigh, who took some huge risks in this main game, and it paid off for him. 480 chips. Now, Seffi, I know I originally said we were going to give you $480 because we were going to turn those chips into dollars. And while that's partially true, we have decided over the commercial break that we're going to be actually multiplying your chip value times 10 and turning that into dollars. So you don't have $480. You have $4,800 to start for your championship total.
Ooh, nice. Thank you.
Ooh,
But how would you like to add some more to that total?
I would love to try to do that, Jose.
Well, you got a chance to win yourself a nice cash jackpot here as we get ready to have you play our bonus dice. All right, so Seffi, here is how this is going to work. We brought out both of our dice for this one. Here is how this is going to work. I'm going to be shaking around the dice, and when you give me that cue, we will roll it up, and depending on what numbers you roll, we will add money to your total. So, we'll start things off with the white die here. You get a 1 or a 2 on the white die, that's $50.
Okay.
A 3 or a 4 on the white die will net you $100. A 5
okay.
on the white die will net you $150. And a
Mhm.
6 on the white die will net you $200.
Ah, nice.
Now, as for the blue die, same thing as the white dice. 1 and
Okay.
2 is $50.
Mhm.
3 and 4 is $100. 5 is $150, but the 6 on the blue die is what you want to avoid, because in this game, that's what's going to be known as the dreaded spade.
Oh no.
The reason why we call it dreaded, you roll a 6 on the blue die at any time during the main game, you've hit the spade, and you're going to lose everything that you've accumulated up to that point. Think
Oh
of it as
dear.
think of
Okay.
it as like the devil on Joker's Wild.
Right.
Your goal is to collect enough money to get your total up to $1,000 or more before rolling a 6 on the blue die, which is considered a spade. Each roll that you've accumulated money and have survived without rolling a spade, you will have the option to walk away with the money at any time. Because again, if you
Okay.
roll that spade, the game's over, and you lose everything except the $4,800 that you came here with.
Okay.
Should you make it to $1,000 or more before running into that spade, you will win our progressive jackpot, which has a base value of $25,000 and will increase by
Ooh.
$5,000 each time it is not won.
Okay.
So, with all that being said, Sephi, the dice table is on the bottom right corner of the screen.
All right.
The dice are moving around in my hands. Just tell me when you want to roll. I will throw the dice on the table, and hopefully we'll net you some money.
All right then. Let's see. Now.
All right. We start things off with a 2 on the white die and a 3 on the blue die. So
That's
that's
$150.
$150 for you to start. Do you want to stop with the $150, or do you want to go on for another roll?
I'll keep rolling.
All right. Dice are moving around once again. Just tell me when you want to roll.
All right. No spades. No spades. And now.
2 ones. Another $100.
That's good.
Brings you up to $250. You're a quarter of the way there. Take the $250 and stop, or go on for another roll.
Let's go for another roll.
All right. Dice are in motion once again.
Okay. No spade, please. No spade. And now.
Oh, we got a good one here. A 6 on the white die and
Ooh,
a
good.
3 on the blue. This is going to be $300.
Nice.
Over halfway there. You're now at $550.
All right.
Take the money and stop, or go again.
I'm feeling lucky. Let's go again here.
All right, you're doing great. Let's see if we can keep it going. Dice are moving around once again.
All right. Again, no spade here. Now.
And you see it there, folks.
Oh,
I am sorry,
dang
Sephi.
it.
There is the blue 6. There's a spade.
Oh,
Oh, well, I tried.
There it is right there, folks. 6 on the blue die, 1 on the white die. I am sorry, Sephi. You have lost it all.
Hey, I'm still happy with my money so far. How about that?
Well, Sephi, unfortunately, you didn't win the $25,000, but like you said, you still have $4,800 for your season total. And you're going to be coming back on our next episode to see if you can pick up a second win in a row and have a chance to potentially get your revenge here on the bonus dice.
Yes, I cannot wait to come back.
I will mention, though, that since this bonus dice was not won, we will add $5,000 to our progressive jackpot, which means that on our next show, whoever plays the bonus dice will be going for $30,000.
All right, then.
All right, but we're going to go ahead and wrap things up here very shortly. Well, unfortunately, off to a very bad start in terms of bonus dice, but it's only our first episode, so anything and everything can still happen. But folks, I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode of Dealer's Choice. It may have been a little slow, and we may have had our fair share of mistakes here to start things off, but this is a premiere episode, so stuff like this is expected to happen. So just bear with me here as we start the season, and hopefully the flow of gameplay will go by a lot quicker here. But if you enjoyed this episode, then be sure to subscribe and have that bell rung, because you don't want to miss out on the next episode of Dealer's Choice, where we will have 4 brand new games and we will have our champion Seffi defending his title. Until then, though, I'm your host, Jose Cazares. For all of us here at Sleepy Time Studios, thanks for watching. Until next time, when it's time to place your bets once again, we'll see you next time for another edition of Dealer's Choice. Good night, everybody.